people, it's your girl Adiola. So did you guys hear about the royal Thanksgiving service of last Sunday? I'm talking about the Thanksgiving service of the year. Yes, so yes, our royal first lady, Her Excellency, yes, the Honorable Permanent Secretary of Bayelsa State had a Thanksgiving service last Sunday, thanking God that she recovered from did she say what the illness is? She didn't say what it is, right? Yes, that she recovered from. She was really, really sick. Yes, that was what happened. She was very, very sick, but God healed her. Amen. Thank God. Let me see if I saw any of your faces at that Thanksgiving service. No, not you. You were not invited. Get out. Yes, look at you. No. Okay, none of you were there, so I can say what I want to say. Yes. So I got on Facebook and I saw Nigerians sending in prayers left and right. Congratulating the first lady on her recovery. I said, Kai, Nigerians, why is it that sometimes we can be so gullible? Like seriously, it's like we suffer from short memory syndrome. I mean, I'm very happy for the first lady. No, really, I'm really happy that she's well, and she's back to the country. But have you all forgotten? This was the same illness that the presidency denied for months. Seriously? When we started reporting that the first lady is sick, she's in Germany for treatment, they said, "Not lie, she's okay. She's just on vacation in Germany. She's relaxing," especially her PA. So why are we having a Thanksgiving service if the first lady was truly on vacation? I said, so the presidency lies. I mean, I forgot, you're not supposed to say an elderly person lied. Yeah, but the good thing is, Sister Patience has never disappointed me. See, I knew it. I knew that someday that she would talk, unless they didn't give her the microphone. Yes. So of course, when Madam got the microphone, hey, she said she was dead. Like dead. She said she was dead like Lazarus for 7 days. And then God brought her back. Hallelujah. Amen. What a powerful testimony, from Sister Patience Fakar Jonathan. Powerful, very, very powerful. By the way, this is just a personal observation, so please do not quote me, okay? Because I believe in miracles. I know that God can raise the dead, because with God all things are possible. But this is just a personal observation. I think our first lady was in coma for 7 days. I mean, I don't think they would have left her on the hospital bed for 7 days if she was like really dead, like dead. I think by the 4th day or something, someone would have taken her to the mortuary. And if that had happened, she would have mentioned it in her testimony, She would have said that she was already in the mortuary and then God brought her back to life. That's just a personal observation, So I think that she was in coma for 7 days, yes. And then, God brought her back, which is a great testimony on its own, yes. It's just that there's a difference between being in coma and being dead, never mind. So she also said that she had 9 surgeries within 1 month, and that she was begging for more surgeries because her condition was getting worse. And I was like, what? I never knew one would undergo surgery for food poisoning. You remember, after denying that she was sick, later on they told us that she had food poisoning. I never knew that you could need to go through surgery for food poisoning. Kai, that food poisoning must be bad. It must have been a very, very bad ogbono. Yes, wait, it can't be ogbono. I like ogbono soup. She must have eaten something very, very bad, Kai, my people, be careful what you eat. You see, 9 surgeries in 1 month because of food poisoning. Kai, food can be bad sometimes. Yes, so be careful what you eat. Eat cassava bread. That is ensured. It is safe. So yes, I'm very, very happy with Her Excellency, and I already sent her my sincere congrats, seriously. But I have a problem. Actually, I have a lot of problems with that Thanksgiving service. First of all, how can they spend 500 million naira, 500 million for the Thanksgiving service? I said, Kai, $500 million naira, just like that in one day. Hey, we're talking about more than $3.2 million, taxpayers' money. So all of you that are sending congratulatory messages, who do you think paid for that service? Like seriously? You think Mr. President did? No. It was your money. It's your money. You Nigerians, it's your money. I'm not saying that you shouldn't congratulate her, be happy for her and all that. But just in case you are wondering why you still don't have good roads in your village, or if you're wondering why your electricity is still not stable, yes, or if you're wondering why you don't always have water when you turn turn on that tap, you know. Or if you're wondering why 75% of graduates don't have jobs, yes, after graduation, yeah. Well, now you know. Now you know one of the places where your money is being diverted to. Ladies and gentlemen, 500 million naira of your money disappeared last Sunday while the first lady was having a party. It was packed. Yeah, 5,000 people. Imagine. 18 governors, you know, expensive artists, you know. Everybody was like grooving, you know. They were spending your money, yes. I was like, yeah. Now 500 million naira, they were castle. Somebody said I'm upset. I said, no. No. These people lied to us that the first lady was not sick. And then they have the guts to spend 500 million naira of our money to put up a party for her. Like, seriously? Do you need to spend up to 500 million naira just to party? Do you need to? Especially when it's not your own money. I'm sure the people that did the decoration, that was a contract on its own. And those people, their life can never remain the same. Does anyone know how much they spent when she was in the hospital? No? None of you? Nobody? Oh, okay. I guess we were not supposed to know about that. It's very, very funny that public officials in developing countries, you know, they're usually accountable to the people who voted for them, except my country. Now, you will think that after being dead and resurrecting, that the first thing that the first lady would think of doing would be to build a good hospital in Nigeria. Yes. Instead, Her Excellency says that she wants to spend 4 billion naira. Let me repeat that. 4 billion naira of our money, you know, to build what she calls African First Ladies Peace Center in Abuja. I mean, I don't know what that means, but you know, it sounds important. So I'm not against her building something, but why would she need 4 billion for one building? I mean, are they using gold instead of concrete? And why can't Mr. President insist on building a good hospital first? And one that him and his family can go to in case of another time. I mean, you're the one that rushed your wife to Germany the other time. Did you learn from that? Isn't this the same president that told us that he used to go to school without shoes? You know, that is why a lot of people call him shoeless. And they're adding something else now. They're saying clueless. Me, I don't add the other part because, you know, I'm a good Nigerian. And that he used to walk for miles before getting to school. I mean, now that you're somebody, Mr. President, you've forgotten that there are still people who cannot afford to send their children to good schools. And there are thousands of youth who have university degrees without jobs. So how can you be okay to spend 500 million naira in one day just because, you know, madam? Yes. Do you see a trend here, my people? Do you see a trend? During the time of Yaradua, the guy was dead and they kept telling us that he's doing well, he's fine in Saudi Arabia. And since the presidency lied about the first lady's sickness in Germany, did you notice that Governor Sullivan Chime of Enugu was able to cover up his cancer illness while receiving treatment for months overseas? Nobody knew. The guy just disappeared, you know, just like the first lady disappeared. And right now, Nigerians are still in the dark about the condition of Governor Dambaba Sutai of Taraba, the one that was in the plane crash. And don't forget, Governor Leah Imoke of Cross River is also playing according to the Jonathan script right now. Yes. So these public officials make it obvious that they are on a mission to waste our resources. They've made it known that they can lie at will. I mean, they make it so hard for us to trust what they say. Seriously, next time the president says, "Good morning, my fellow Nigerians," you better make sure that it is really morning. Look outside, check your window, make sure it's not dark outside. But yeah, what do I know? I'm just keeping it real. So speaking of wasting money, did you guys hear that Miss Kim Kardashian was in Lagos last weekend? Yes. She was in Lagos last weekend to co-host a concert organized by popular Nigerian musician Dari. Yes, the last time I checked the meaning of the word co-host in my dictionary, it says to serve as a joint host of an event, you know, to actively participate in steering the course of an event. You get what I'm saying? But my people, Miss Kim, you know, spent 45 seconds on stage introducing the show, and that was it. You know, they paid her $500,000 for that. Hey, I was like, man, Nigerians get money, plenty. Please, can you tell Mr. Adari and the people that organized his concert, can you let them know that I'm coming to Nigeria next month? Yes, next month. I'll be in Nigeria. I can come tonight. Tell them that I'm available in case they are organizing any event, and I don't charge much. I'm not that expensive. So please, make sure you do that. Yes. Back to what I was saying. I'm not surprised if people who are not politicians will do such things. I mean, be so wasteful. I think they're just following the steps of our leaders, We have a culture of wasting resources. Remember that Chris Brown was also paid $1 million for performing one night in Lagos. I mean, that was very recent. And Nigerians don't operate by credit. They'll probably pay him full cash. You get what I'm saying? I just wonder what these people think about us. Yes, what they think of us, because they read the news. They know we have a challenge with Boko Haram. They know about people that are being kidnapped in Nigeria. I mean, just because it is not any of your people doesn't mean that it's not happening. It is happening, yes. And they know our electricity is not stable, especially after Mr. President got on CNN, and CNN did their own research, you feel me? And they know that not all our roads are good, okay? And then they come and spend a day with us, and we give them $500,000 or $1 million. Kai, I'm guessing that these people are probably laughing at us, at the way we idolize them instead of spending that money to take care of our business and take care of our own people. You feel me? They're probably laughing at us, when they get to their corner. Yes, just imagine what that $500,000 could do if these people that paid Kim, if they were trying to create jobs for graduates. You feel me? And that $1 million that they gave to Chris Brown, just imagine what that money would have done. But you guys know me, I don't like to talk about other people. Just keeping it real. So while Nigerians are busy wasting their resources, their money, an engineer in Uganda was busy building a spaceship, and now they are ready to launch it into space. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that is amazing. I'm talking about Captain Chris Nsamba. He is the Chief Executive Officer and the founder of the African Space Research Program in Uganda. Now, that means that Uganda would be the first African country to launch into space. I'm not talking about, launching from China and claiming that you are launching satellite into space. No. These people want to launch right inside Uganda. You see? I mean, how much is Uganda? No offense. But you see, they are teaching us something. Yeah, they are teaching us something. Nice job, my Ugandan people. Nice job. Excellent job. Yes. But when I was reading the story about, this space project thing, yes, I became a little concerned. Yes, you get what I'm saying? Actually, I'm very, very concerned. No, seriously, I'm really concerned. Something just doesn't add up. You get what I'm saying? Just so you know, my Ugandan brothers and sisters, this is not in any way to put you down. No. These are just like innocent observations. I'm very innocent, and these are my innocent observations. So don't take any offense, okay? Me and you are tight. Yes. So don't take offense. First of all, they are building this spaceship at the guy's backyard, and I was like, backyard? Like that? Seriously? And the thing is supposed to go into space in the backyard? And then they said that the team members are students. And I said, okay. I mean, it's not like these people have been trained to build aircrafts. I mean, that's great. That is huge. Students, this is African ingenuity, yes. But then I read that they will launch the craft with a helium-filled weather balloon. And I was like, what? A weather balloon is what will carry the ship? Is this a joke? They said the weather balloon will lift up the spaceship for 3.6 kilometers, and then the thrusters would kick in. And I'm trying to imagine that in my mind. How that would look like if the thruster changes the momentum of the spacecraft, that would exert a force on the craft to make it accelerate, right? And there would be fire. I mean, seriously, a jet doesn't take off without fire. Wouldn't that burn the balloon at the top of the thing? And is that safe for whoever is in the craft? And speaking of who's gonna be in the craft, you take a wild guess, my people. A live rat. and then they said that if this rat can survive space and comes back alive, that means that next time we can send human beings. I said, hey, rats are not people. And then they said that they've prepared an oxygen tank for the rat. I'm just thinking about how the rat would put on the oxygen tank. And then they said the oxygen tank would last for 17 hours. I said, eh? So what happens to the rat after 17 hours? What happens to the rat now? You know that this thing is supposed to like orbit space twice. And that is not possible within 17 hours for this kind of, spacecraft. No offense. So how would the rat survive after 17 hours? Can they make it like 100 hours? And it's supposed to pick up dust molecules for their laboratory research. I said, what lab? Sorry, I forgot it. In the backyard, first of all. And then if you need dust that bad, there's plenty of dust right here on Earth. And so yeah, I was really concerned, for this aspiring team. And so I decided to go on their website just to read more and understand better what they're trying to do. And so I saw this video of them testing one of their engines, and it's been tested by the head of the organization, Mr. Chris Nsamba. Mind you, this testing was done last year, so it's possible that the engine looks nicer and better and safer, but I thought you should take a look.
This is Captain Chris Nsamba requesting for testing guidance. Over.
Cleared for testing. Left gun.
Left gun confirmed. Right gun. Right gun confirmed.
Left spin.
Left spin confirmed.
Did you see that thing? I said to myself, why? I said, why did they call it African Space Research Program? Why didn't they just say Ugandan Space Research Program? But enough with the jokes, I think these guys are doing something that has never been done in Africa. At least they're trying to. And I think that Ugandan government should take this as an opportunity to invest in space programs, especially now that you have people that have dedicated themselves to doing this for years. And all the government needs to do is to provide proper funding for them and to set up real space laboratories for them so that they can, move out of the backyard, yes, and send them overseas for better training and make sure that this project becomes a reality. I'm also hoping that these guys would inspire other African countries, to also invest in space programs, especially the giant of Africa. I'm not talking about launching in China and claiming that Nigeria has launched a satellite into space, so that at least Africans can also say that we have astronauts, yes, and that we've launched spaceships. Now, the Ugandan engineer says that he's ready to launch, although I don't know how safe, their craft is yet. And of course, they're looking for donations to complete their project. I'm just keeping it real. So I hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day. I hope you didn't just receive presents, but that you also gave somebody some presents, yes. I tell people, you don't have to be married or engaged or even be in a relationship to enjoy the Valentine's Day, yes. So in as long as you know that it's not just about receiving, but also about giving to people. I said you could be a little boy and still enjoy Valentine's Day, just like this guy.
My name is Jacobo, and it's my job to give people happy Valentine's.
Won't you be my, won't you be my, won't you be my Valentine? Because I adore you, I'd give anything for you. You make me smile, smile, smile. And when I'm around you, things kinda get hazy. Because I am crazy, crazy for you. I cannot describe it except that I'm in love. Yeah, I'm feeling feelings, feelings for you. And now I shout to the world my love for you, the irresistible.
Wasn't that cute? I mean, that was so cute. Oh. Okay, so it was a sad Valentine's Day in Nigeria, however, because we lost a star that night. Yes, Goldie Harvey, a popular Nigerian singer and a star of Big Brother Africa, passed away on Valentine's Day after arriving from California that same day where she attended the Grammy Awards. May her soul rest in peace. Now, one thing to learn from Goldie's life is to never procrastinate. If you have a dream, go after it, go for it. She went after her dreams, and even though she was only 31 when she died, she would be remembered for a long time to come. Now, in case you're not familiar with Goldie's songs, here is one of her songs.
We gon' party hard. Yup, yup, the beat don't stop. Groove to the limit, don't drop. Yup, yup, the beat don't stop. Ọmọ jayé jayé, lókè lókè má jẹun lọ. Ọmọ jayé jayé, lókè lókè má párò lọ. Ó di dandan, àwọn àgbàdùn gan. No farming, barajẹ́, no darling, yeah. Wẹ́rẹ́ make you dance here for me. Wẹ́rẹ́ make you dance here for me. Skibidi ribi robo, skibidi robo, skibidi ribi robo, make you do one the way you want it. Dance ya, 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 dance ya. Skip robo, ribo, skip robo, ribo, skip robo, ribo, skip robo, ribo. Dibi da.
Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'ma see y'all later. Peace out.